The massive alien ship hung in Earth's orbit like a dark cloud blocking the sun. Inside the United Nations building in New York, world leaders gathered in silence as they watched the first transmission from the Galactic Council appear on their screens. Ambassador Sarah Chen stood calmly at the podium, her gray suit perfectly pressed, showing no signs of the tension filling the room. The alien face on the screen belonged to High Counselor Zextar, a tall being with blue-tinted skin and large, silvery eyes. "People of Earth," Zextar's translated voice boomed through the speakers. "Our scans show your civilization has barely reached space travel capability. For your own protection and development, the Galactic Council offers you membership, under our guidance, of course." Several leaders shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Behind closed doors, they all knew the truth. Earth wasn't nearly as helpless as the aliens believed, but now wasn't the time to show their hand. The alien scouts had arrived 6 months ago, scanning Earth with what they thought were advanced sensors. They never detected the quantum shielding hiding Earth's true military power. They missed the massive underground bases, the fleet of ships hidden in the dark side of the moon, and the advanced AI defense systems protecting the planet. Ambassador Chen smiled politely at the alien transmission. "We are honored by your offer, High Counselor. Earth would be grateful for the Council's guidance." Zextar's aide, a reptilian being named Crix, whispered something in the High Counselor's ear. The aliens thought they had muted their transmission, but Earth's technology could still pick up their words. "These humans are even more primitive than we thought," Crix said. "Their most advanced weapons are simple chemical explosives. They'll make perfect workers for the mining colonies." Zextar nodded slightly before addressing Earth again. "We will send our terms shortly. Your planet will provide resources and labor to the Council. In exchange, we will protect you from more aggressive species." In the back of the room, General James Martinez fought to keep his face neutral. The aliens had no idea that Earth's simple chemical explosives were just decoys. They hadn't detected the quantum phase torpedoes, the dark matter cannons, or the neural disruption fields that Earth had developed over the last century. "We accept your generous offer," Ambassador Chen said, bowing slightly. "Earth looks forward to joining the galactic community." The transmission ended, and the room remained quiet for a moment. Then, soft chuckles began to spread among the world leaders. President Williams of the United States stood up, his eyes twinkling with amusement. "They really think we're defenseless," he said, shaking his head. "Did their scans even detect the Jupiter defense line?" "No," General Martinez replied, finally letting himself grin. "Their scanning technology is exactly where our intel said it would be. They can't see through our quantum shields. They don't even know about the Mars colonies." Ambassador Chen turned to face the room. "The Galactic Council has become too comfortable with their power. They've forgotten that appearances can be deceiving. Their arrogance will be their undoing." The leaders discussed their next steps. Earth had been preparing for this moment for decades. Since finding the crashed alien ship in 1947, humanity had secretly advanced far beyond what the outside galaxy suspected. The recovered technology had given Earth a head start, and human innovation had taken it even further. Vice President Torres spoke up from her seat. "How long should we play along with their game?" "Long enough to learn their weaknesses," Chen replied. "Long enough to understand their power structure. Then, when the time is right, Earth will reveal its true strength." The meeting continued as they planned their strategy. In orbit, the alien ship's sensors continued to scan Earth, missing everything important. They didn't detect the quantum communications network coordinating Earth's hidden defenses. They didn't notice the nanite clouds protecting major cities. They certainly didn't spot the dimensional pocket harboring Earth's true fleet. As night fell over New York, Ambassador Chen stood at her office window, watching the alien ship's lights glitter against the stars. In her hand, she held a small device showing Earth's real military readiness. Hundreds of ships, thousands of advanced weapons, and technology that would shock the Galactic Council, all hidden behind barriers they couldn't penetrate. Let them think we're weak, she whispered to herself. Let them underestimate us. When the time comes, the galaxy will learn that humanity isn't just another primitive species to be conquered. We are the defenders they never knew they needed. In the sky above, the alien ship continued its patrol, unaware that they weren't the hunters they thought they were. Earth wasn't their prey. And soon, very soon, the Galactic Council would learn just how badly they had misjudged humanity. 2 months after Earth joined the Galactic Council, strange reports began flooding alien intelligence networks. The first incident happened during a routine patrol near Saturn. Impossible. Captain Vexlar of the Council's elite guard slammed his clawed hand on the control panel. His ship, the most advanced in the Council's fleet, had just missed its target again. The small Earth transport vessel, supposedly primitive by galactic standards, danced between his shots like it knew where they would land before he fired. "Sir," his weapons officer called out, "their ship's movements, they don't match any known evasion patterns. It's like they're reading our targeting computer's mind." In truth, they were. Hidden quantum processors aboard the Earth vessel calculated weapon trajectories milliseconds before they fired, using technology the Council believed was centuries beyond human capability. Back on Earth, inside the secret command center beneath Mount Everest, Admiral Sarah Wong watched the encounter through real-time quantum feeds. "Let them see a little more," she commanded. "It's time for Phase 2. The Earth transport suddenly accelerated, breaking every known speed limitation for its size class. Before vanishing into hyperspace, it left behind a strange energy signature that made the alien sensors scream in confusion. On the Galactic Council's capital world, Nexus Prime, High Counselor Zexstar faced an increasingly worried assembly. "These humans," began Counselor Kthrak of the militant sector, "their ships are displaying capabilities that contradict all our scans. Yesterday, one of their primitive vessels survived a direct hit from our latest plasma cannon. The hull didn't even scratch." "Perhaps," suggested another counselor, "we should increase surveillance." The Council agreed, dispatching their most advanced stealth ships to Earth. None of them returned. What the Council didn't know was that Earth had transformed the Moon's dark side into something unprecedented. Behind quantum shields and dimensional barriers, an entire city of scientists worked with technology that would make the Council's best minds question their understanding of physics. 1 week later, a Council mining operation on Mars encountered something that sent shockwaves through the galactic community. Their excavators broke through into an enormous underground facility, distinctly human in origin. Before they could investigate, the entire complex vanished, leaving behind only a holographic message that read, "Nothing to see here," in perfect galactic standard. The Council's intelligence chief, Director Exile, presented his findings to a closed session. "We've detected unusual energy signatures around all 9 planets in their solar system. These readings suggest, well, it's absurd, but they suggest technology we've only theorized about." "Explain," demanded Zexstar. "According to our deep scans, there are quantum fluctuations consistent with dimensional engineering." "But that's impossible. No species has mastered dimensional manipulation. Even we gave up trying centuries ago." In New York, Ambassador Chen attended another Council delegation meeting. The alien representatives watched nervously as she sipped her tea, noticing how their most sophisticated scanning devices malfunctioned in her presence. "Is something wrong?" she asked innocently, hiding a smile as their quantum analyzers sparked and shut down. The alien delegation had more questions than answers. Their sensors detected primitive radio waves and basic satellite technology around Earth, yet their ships kept encountering impossibilities. Earth vessels moved in ways that defied physics. Their supposedly basic metals withstood weapons that could shatter moons. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, in a facility unknown even to most humans, Dr. James Chen, no relation to the ambassador, monitored the quantum web connecting Earth's hidden defenses. Holographic displays showed thousands of cloaked satellites, automated defense platforms, and things that had no name in any human language. "They're starting to notice. His AI assistant commented. "Shall we proceed with the next phase?" Dr. Chen nodded, initiating a program that would slowly, deliberately, let the Council glimpse more of Earth's true nature. Let them see enough to start doubting everything they think they know about us. The final incident that month occurred when a Council warship attempted to scan the Mariana Trench. Their sensors detected something massive moving in the depths, something that shouldn't exist according to their understanding of human technology. Before they could focus their instruments, every piece of electronic equipment on their ship temporarily shut down. When power returned, they found a simple message on their main screen. Curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back. The Council's linguists would spend weeks trying to understand why humans would reference felines in a warning message. As Phase 2 concluded, Ambassador Chen sent a short quantum-encrypted message to Earth Command. They're starting to fear what they don't understand. Soon, they'll realize that fear is just the beginning. The galaxy was about to learn that humanity hadn't spent its history just developing weapons and defenses. They had created things that would rewrite the rules of what was possible. And they were just getting started. The Galactic Council's diplomatic chamber fell silent as Earth's transmission began. Every major species representative leaned forward, their variety of eyes, sensors, and sensory organs all fixed on Ambassador Chen's calm figure. "Honored Council members," she began, her voice carrying an edge of amusement. "Recent events have caused concern about Earth's capabilities. Today, we'd like to clarify a few things." High Counselor Zextar's blue skin had turned pale. "Clarify. Your ships violate known physics. Our missing scout vessels are all safely stored in our Jupiter containment facility." Chen interrupted. "Unharmed, of course. We couldn't have them reporting our activities prematurely." The chamber erupted in shocked whispers. Containing ships in Jupiter's crushing atmosphere was supposedly impossible. Before anyone could respond, the massive viewing screens around the chamber activated. "Please observe," Chen said, pressing a small device on her wrist. The screens showed Earth from orbit. Suddenly, the planet's surface began to change. Vast sections of ocean shifted, revealing massive structures rising from the depths. The Sahara Desert shimmered and disappeared, exposing a complex of facilities larger than most alien cities. "By the first stars," someone whispered. The Himalayas split open, revealing hangars filled with ships of impossible design. From the Antarctic ice, enormous defense platforms emerged, their weapons unlike anything the Council had ever seen. But the real shock came from orbit. The moon flickered, and its dark side transformed. What had appeared as cratered surface was now a vast shipyard, stretching across thousands of kilometers. Ships of all sizes hung in formations, their designs mixing organic curves with geometric precision. "Impossible," Counselor Cathrak shouted. "Our scans were exactly as effective as we wanted them to be," Chen replied. "Did you really think humanity would survive this long without proper defenses?" In low Earth orbit, the planetary shield grid activated. Countless satellites, previously invisible, created a lattice of energy that made the Council's best shields look primitive. The energy pattern was familiar to the older Council members. It matched theoretical designs their scientists had declared impossible millennia ago. "The quantum barrier network," gasped Director Exile. "You've mastered it." "Mastered?" Chen smiled. "We improved it. Your ancient designs had flaws. We fixed them." To demonstrate, a small Earth vessel approached a section of the shield. Instead of passing through a gap, it seemed to phase through the solid energy barrier, its hull briefly becoming transparent before solidifying again. "Phase shift technology," Chen continued, "merged with quantum tunneling. Quite useful, really." But Earth wasn't done revealing its secrets. From Jupiter's swirling clouds, enormous structures began to emerge. They weren't bases or weapons platforms. They were engines, planet-sized engines that had been hiding in the gas giant storms. "We call it the Jupiter Array," Chen explained. "It powers most of our defensive grid. The storms provide excellent cover, and the energy output is substantial. The council chamber had grown so quiet you could hear the various species' breathing apparatus working overtime. Some representatives were frantically consulting their data devices, others simply stared in shock. "But how?" Zextar finally asked. "Your species is so young." Chen's expression turned serious. "Young doesn't mean primitive, counselor. While you were busy maintaining your power, humanity was preparing. We recovered our first alien ship in 1947. Instead of trying to copy it, we studied the principles and developed our own path." Screens showed new images, hybrid technologies mixing human innovation with advanced physics, quantum computers that used biological components, ships that thought like living beings but moved like light itself. "The biological quantum processors," one scientific advisor whispered. "They've solved the coherence problem." "By thinking differently," Chen confirmed. "Your civilizations tried to force quantum systems to behave. We learned to work with their natural state instead. It's amazing what you can accomplish when you're not bound by traditional thinking." As if to emphasize her point, the Earth ships began a formation display. They moved in ways that seemed to ignore physics entirely, leaving trace patterns in space that formed complex mathematical equations. "This is just the beginning," Chen announced. "Earth is ready to take its proper place in the galactic community, not as a primitive species to be guided, but as equals. Perhaps," she paused meaningfully, "even as teachers." The chamber erupted in chaos as representatives argued, shouted, and in some cases simply stared in awe. Through it all, Chen stood calmly, watching the council's carefully maintained power structure begin to crack. In Earth orbit, the defense grid continued its activities, now visible to all. Ships phased in and out of reality, quantum barriers rippled with impossible energy, and at the edge of the solar system, something vast and incomprehensible began to stir. Phase 3 was complete. Earth had shown its hand, at least the part it was willing to reveal. What no one in the council chamber knew was that even these revelations were just the surface. Deep beneath the Earth's crust, in the spaces between dimensions, and in regions of space that didn't officially exist, humanity's true capabilities waited. The galaxy would never be the same, and that was exactly what Earth had planned all along. The Galactic Council demanded proof of Earth's capabilities. They never expected humans to agree so eagerly. A demonstration. Ambassador Chen smiled at the Council's demand. "We would be delighted. Please, direct your attention to the Kuiper Belt." The Council's observation ships watched as a small Earth vessel, no larger than a standard transport, approached an asteroid roughly the size of Manhattan. What happened next made several council members question their sanity. The ship didn't fire weapons or deploy mining equipment. Instead, it released a cloud of what appeared to be simple metallic dust. Within seconds, the dust surrounded the asteroid. Then, impossibly, the massive rock began to change. "Nanites?" Director Exile asked, his multiple eyes widening. "But they're coordinating on a scale that's impossible." Chen finished. "You tried controlling nanites through quantum commands. We taught them to think for themselves." The asteroid was transforming. The nanites weren't just reshaping it. They were changing its fundamental structure. Within minutes, the space rock had become a perfectly geometrical structure, its surface covered in patterns that seemed to shift and move when viewed directly. "That's merely the beginning," Chen announced. "Now, please observe our approach to defense." From Earth's dark side, 3 ships emerged. They looked deceptively simple, smooth oval crafts with no visible weapons or engines. As the Council watched, the ships approached an old battlefield, littered with debris from ancient space conflicts. "We call this the Symphony of Silence," Chen explained. The 3 ships formed a triangle. A subtle ripple passed between them, barely visible even to the Council's most advanced sensors. Then, every piece of debris in a 1,000-kilometer radius simply vanished. "Where did it go?" Zextar demanded. "Everywhere and nowhere," Chen replied cryptically. We've learned to manipulate space itself. Those debris fields now exist in a state of quantum uncertainty. They're still there, just not in any dimension you can access. But Earth wasn't finished. The demonstration's next phase targeted a series of automated drones the Council had positioned to observe. Without warning, every drone simultaneously lost power. "Don't worry," Chen assured them. "They'll reactivate in exactly 10 minutes. We've merely borrowed their energy temporarily." "Borrowed?" Kathrak scoffed. "Energy cannot simply be." He stopped mid-sentence as the 3 Earth ships began to glow. The energy they borrowed manifested as a complex web of light between them. Then, to the Council's astonishment, the ships used this energy to create something new. Space itself folded. There was no other way to describe it. A section of vacuum roughly 5 kilometers wide simply curved in on itself, creating what looked like a liquid mirror floating in space. "A portable gateway," Chen explained. "Useful for rapid deployment. Would anyone like to see where it leads?" Before the Council could respond, their sensors detected movement from Mars. An entire fleet of ships emerged from the red planet's surface, ships that had been hidden beneath the dust for centuries. They moved through the gateway in perfect formation, reappearing instantly near Jupiter. "That's impossible," several Council members shouted at once. The energy requirements alone would be astronomical by your standards, Chen agreed. "Fortunately, we thought differently about energy too. Watch carefully." The Earth ships initiated their final demonstration. The gateway collapsed, its energy redirecting into what appeared to be a small star forming between the vessels. But instead of radiating outward, this star pulled inward, compressing until it was barely visible. "We call it stellar compression," Chen explained. "All the energy of a small star contained in a space smaller than your fist. Quite useful for power generation." The compressed star pulsed once, and every piece of technology in the solar system registered its presence. For a brief moment, Council members saw the true extent of Earth's defense grid, layers upon layers of quantum fields, dimensional pockets, and technologies that their science said should not exist. "This concludes our basic demonstration," Chen announced. "We have, of course, kept our more interesting developments private. We wouldn't want to overwhelm you." The Council chamber had grown very quiet. The implications were staggering. Humanity hadn't just caught up to galactic technology. They'd taken it in entirely new directions. "One last thing," Chen added, almost as an afterthought. "Those ships you see, they're not crewed by humans." "Artificial intelligence?" someone asked nervously. "No," Chen smiled. "Something far more interesting. We've learned to merge consciousness with quantum systems. Those ships don't have crews because they are the crew. Living technology, you might say." As if to emphasize her point, the Earth ships began to move in ways that seemed almost organic, flowing through space like schools of fish in water. "The future isn't about controlling technology," Chen concluded. "It's about growing with it." Humanity didn't just advance technologically. We evolved. The demonstration was over, but its impact would ripple through the galaxy for centuries to come. Earth had shown that it wasn't just another emerging civilization. It was something entirely new, a species that had taken cosmic evolution in an unexpected direction. In the depths of space, Earth's ships continued their dance, each movement a reminder that the galaxy's balance of power had shifted forever. And somewhere in the quantum realm, humanity's greatest achievements waited, still hidden from view, still evolving, still becoming something more. After Earth's demonstration of power, the Galactic Council demanded answers. How had humans advanced so quickly? The truth would shake the foundations of galactic civilization. Ambassador Chen stood in the Council's great archive, surrounded by holographic displays of Earth's history. But this wasn't the history taught in human schools. "What you're about to learn," she began, "explains why Earth chose to hide its true nature. It's time you understood who we really are." The holograms shifted, showing ancient Earth, But something was different. Among the dinosaurs roamed structures that shouldn't have existed, monitoring stations hidden beneath the primitive landscape. Earth was never just our homeworld, Chen revealed. It was an experiment, but not by you or any known species. We were the watchers. The council members stared in shock as the images showed early humans, but with crucial differences. Hidden beneath their simple tools and cave paintings were signs of advanced knowledge. Mathematical formulas disguised as art, star maps hidden in cave drawings. Impossible, Director Exile whispered. This would mean humans are older than your civilization. Chen smiled. Much older. We didn't evolve from primitive ancestors. We devolved, deliberately. The holograms showed an ancient human civilization, far more advanced than anything currently known. But instead of reaching for the stars, they had chosen to start over, encoding their knowledge into human DNA itself. When the Great Darkness swept through the galaxy 300,000 years ago, Chen continued, our ancestors faced a choice: fight and potentially lose everything, or hide in plain sight, appearing to evolve naturally. Screens showed the process. Advanced humans using quantum engineering to rewrite their own genetic code, hiding their true nature beneath primitive forms. Their technology wasn't hidden in secret bases, but in the human genome itself. Every human child born, Chen explained, carries within them the encoded knowledge of our true heritage. It activates slowly, generation by generation. What you saw as rapid advancement was simply us remembering. The evidence was undeniable. Hidden in human junk DNA were complete technical schematics. The double helix wasn't just a biological code. It was a storage system of unimaginable complexity. But why reveal this now? High Counselor Zextar demanded. Chen's expression turned serious. Because the Great Darkness is returning. We've detected its signs at the galaxy's edge. That's why we let you find us. We need allies for what's coming. New holograms appeared, showing temporal scans of the galaxy's outer rim. Something was moving in the void between galaxies, something that devoured light itself. Your civilizations have forgotten, Chen said, but Earth remembered. Every breakthrough in human history, every leap in technology, wasn't innovation. It was remembrance. The displays showed human achievements through history. The pyramids weren't just tombs. They were power nodes in a planetary defense grid, waiting to be reactivated. Stone circles like Stonehenge were quantum computers in standby mode. Ancient cave paintings contained the codes to activate them all. We didn't hide our technology in secret bases, Chen revealed. We hid it in plain sight, scattered across every human culture, every ancient monument, every piece of art. Even our myths and legends are technical manuals, once you know how to read them. To demonstrate, she pointed to an ancient Greek vase. Under quantum analysis, the decorative patterns revealed themselves as schematics for dimensional engineering. The Odyssey isn't just an epic poem, she explained. It's a star chart showing safe routes through compromised space. The monsters Odysseus faced. Those were the ancient enemy's different forms. But the biggest revelation was still to come. Chen activated a final hologram, showing Earth's moon. It's not a natural satellite, she said quietly. It's the last surviving ship from the ancient war, disguised and placed in orbit. A guardian, watching over humanity as we underwent our voluntary regression. The council chamber erupted in chaos as the moon's surface flickered, briefly revealing its true nature, a massive vessel of impossible complexity, built by a human civilization that had chosen to forget itself rather than be destroyed. We're not just revealing our power, Chen concluded. We're awakening it. Earth isn't joining the galactic community. We're returning to it. And this time, we won't hide from the darkness. As if responding to her words, ancient sites across Earth began to activate. The pyramids hummed with power. Stonehenge's stones vibrated with quantum frequencies, and beneath the ocean floors, machinery that had slept for millennia began to wake. Humanity hadn't just advanced beyond expectations. They had remembered who they truly were, And now, with the ancient enemy approaching once again, the galaxy's oldest guardians were ready to take up their forgotten mantle. The true age of humanity was beginning, and the darkness would find Earth ready this time. The Galactic Council's emergency session was interrupted by simultaneous reports from every major spacefaring civilization. Ancient structures, dormant for millennia, were awakening on countless worlds. Each bore the unmistakable signature of Earth's technology. Ambassador Chen stood calmly as the chamber descended into chaos. "Did you never wonder," she asked, "why so many worlds had unexplained ruins? Why certain mathematical constants appeared in every civilization's development?" The central display showed planets across the galaxy. On each world, structures previously dismissed as natural formations or primitive ruins were transforming. Crystal spires erupted from desert sands. Mountains revealed themselves as ancient monitoring stations. Entire ocean floors lit up with awakening networks. Earth didn't just hide, Chen explained. We prepared. Every world with potential for intelligent life was seated with guardians. They'd been sleeping, waiting for humanity to remember its purpose. Director Agdile's analytical mind made the connection first. The quantum resonance patterns in our oldest technologies, they're not coincidental, are they? No, Chen smiled. We guided your development. Those lucky breakthroughs in your histories, the mysterious ancient artifacts that inspired your greatest innovations, all part of Earth's protection program. The evidence was overwhelming. Every major civilization had been subtly guided by human technology, disguised as natural phenomena or archaeological curiosities. But that wasn't the most shocking revelation. The dimensional barriers between galaxies, Chen continued, aren't natural. They're part of an ancient defense network. Earth didn't just protect this galaxy. We were part of an intergalactic alliance. Screens showed the truth. Massive energy fields between galaxies, previously thought to be natural phenomena, were actually ancient human technology. Earth had been part of something far larger than a mere planetary civilization. Suddenly, every quantum communication device in the galaxy activated simultaneously. A signal, originating from Earth's moon, reached across space itself. The response was immediate and overwhelming. From the spaces between stars, ships began to emerge. Not Earth vessels, but something else. Craft that seemed to be made of crystallized time itself. The lost fleet of humanity's ancient allies, responding to Earth's awakening. We called them the Time Weavers, Chen explained as the impossible ships took formation around the solar system. They didn't just travel through space. They navigated through time itself. When the darkness came, they entrusted Earth with their legacy. The ships moved in patterns that defied physics, leaving trails of crystallized moments in their wake. They weren't just traveling through space. They were weaving new temporal pathways, strengthening the very fabric of reality. But Earth wasn't finished. From Jupiter's clouds, enormous structures began to rise. Not the defense platforms revealed earlier, but something far more significant. The gas giant's entire atmosphere shifted, revealing what it truly was, a massive temporal engineering facility. Jupiter isn't just a power source, Chen revealed. It's a time forge. Every storm in its atmosphere is a temporal experiment, creating and testing new ways to strengthen space-time itself. The Council watched in awe as the Time Weaver ships integrated with Earth's defenses. Their crystalline technology merged seamlessly with human quantum systems, creating something entirely new. A defense grid that existed across multiple timelines simultaneously. The power shift you're witnessing isn't just political, Chen declared. It's fundamental. Earth isn't just taking a place among the galactic powers. We're reactivating the ancient Guardian network that protected all sentient life. From hidden bases across the galaxy, more human technology awakened. Quantum gates long thought dormant hummed to life. Dimensional anchors stabilized regions of space that had been troubled for millennia. The galaxy itself seemed to be remembering an older, more ordered state. Several council members noticed something extraordinary about their own worlds. Beneath the surfaces of their capital planets, ancient human outposts were awakening. Each contained star maps, temporal coordinates, and warnings about the approaching darkness. Your civilizations weren't just guided by us, Chen explained. They were chosen. Each species here has a role to play in what's coming. The Galactic Council isn't dissolving. It's fulfilling its true purpose as part of Earth's defense plan. As if to confirm her words, the Time Weaver ships began projecting temporal maps. They showed not just space, but time. And in those maps, every Council species had a crucial role in the battles to come. The power shift isn't about dominance, Chen concluded. It's about preparation. Earth remembers what must be done, and we'll need every civilization here to help us do it. The galaxy was changing. The old power structures were being replaced by something far older and more profound. Earth wasn't just revealing its strength, it was reactivating an ancient defense network that spanned time and space itself. And in the darkness between galaxies, something stirred, sensing that its ancient adversary had finally awakened. The galaxy watched in awe as Earth enacted the final phase of its ancient plan. But even after all the revelations, the greatest truth had yet to be revealed. Ambassador Chen stood at the center of the Galactic Council chamber, now transformed by awakened human technology. The walls had become transparent, showing not just space, but time itself. Layers of reality flowing like cosmic rivers. What you're about to witness, she announced, is why Earth truly hid its power. Not just from the darkness, but from reality itself. Above Earth, the moon began its final transformation. The ancient vessel's surface dissolved, revealing its true form, a massive mechanical lotus, each petal a dimensional gateway. As it opened, something impossible emerged from its core. By the first stars, High Counselor Zextar whispered, "That's the original Earth," Chen finished. "What you've known as Earth is its echo, a shadow cast across time. This is humanity's true home." The original Earth hung in space like a jewel, its surface covered in cities that defied comprehension. But it wasn't just a planet. It was the central node of something vast and incomprehensible. Humanity didn't just build defenses, Chen explained. We built a backup of reality itself. Every human child's dreams. They're quantum echoes of this Earth, bleeding through time. Every human invention. Memories of what we once were, seeping into consciousness. The Time Weaver ships moved into formation around both Earths, their crystalline hulls resonating with frequencies that made time itself vibrate. From their positions, they began weaving something unprecedented, a temporal bridge between past and present. But the true revelation came next. From the original Earth, massive structures extended, not in space, but in possibility. They were probability engines, machines that manipulated the very likelihood of events. The darkness doesn't just consume light and matter, Chen revealed. It devours probability itself. It feeds on possibility. That's why we created the probability maze, an infinite labyrinth of could-have-beens and might-have-beens. The Council watched as Earth's defense grid activated its final form. It wasn't just a network of weapons and shields. It was a vast probability trap, designed to ensnare and redirect the darkness into loops of endless possibility. Every human story, Chen continued, every myth, every dream of the future, they're not just tales. They're probability anchors, creating countless potential realities for the darkness to lose itself in. From the quantum cores of both Earths, waves of possibility began to spread. Reality itself seemed to multiply, creating layers upon layers of potential futures and pasts. The darkness wouldn't just face humanity's weapons, it would face every possible version of humanity across infinite timelines. But Earth's greatest weapon wasn't technological. From the original Earth, a signal pulsed across the cosmos, awakening something dormant in every sentient being in the galaxy. The spark of consciousness, Chen explained, isn't random. It's a fragment of the original Earth's defense system, planted in every potential intelligent species. You're not just our allies. You're part of us, part of the grand design to protect reality itself. The council members felt it, an awakening in their minds, connections to both Earths and to each other forming neural networks that transcended physical space. Every civilization's unique talents and perspectives became part of a vast, living defense grid. The new galactic order isn't about power or control, Chen declared. It's about unity. Earth didn't hide to protect itself. We hid to protect you, to let each civilization develop its unique contribution to reality's defense. As if responding to her words, the two Earths began to synchronize. The probability engine spun up to full power, creating a tapestry of infinite possibilities. Every human achievement, every alien innovation, every dream and story and hope became threads in a vast temporal shield. The darkness consumes what is, Chen concluded. So we created what could be. An infinite maze of possibility, powered by the combined creativity and consciousness of every sentient being. The galaxy watched as Earth's true defense system activated, not a network of weapons, but a living web of consciousness and possibility, anchored by humanity's dual existence and powered by the combined potential of all sentient life. The new galactic order wasn't just a political arrangement. It was the awakening of reality's immune system, with humanity as its memory, alien civilizations as its diversity, and the combined hopes and dreams of countless beings as its strength. As the darkness approached the galaxy's edge, it found not a collection of separate civilizations, but a unified cosmos, infinite in its possibilities, anchored by two Earths, and defended by the combined consciousness of all sentient life. The greatest war wouldn't be fought with weapons, but with possibility itself. And humanity had spent millennia preparing every sentient being to play their part in reality's defense. The true age of the galaxy had begun.